Hey, welcome to another Kanoa Quick Tips video. We got a lot of good feedback on the last video where I was actually in the Ignition Designer playing around, showing you how to bring in some of the Kanoa objects and data into your custom screen. So we're just going to continue along in that series. So if you missed the last video, there's going to be a link to it up here at the top. Definitely recommend you go and check that out. But what we'll go ahead and do today is we're going to replace some of the input bindings and the input methods that we used from that initial screen, and we're going to update those to use the Kanoa General Selector, just so that you get to use more of the out-of-the-box features that come with the Kanoa product and things that you know are just going to work. So let's go ahead and show you how to do that. So we find ourselves back in the Ignition Designer, and let's get to swapping out the inputs from this screen over to using the Kanoa General Selector. So first things first, we don't need these anymore. Let's get rid of them. So select those items here and let's wipe those out. I'm also going to slightly change the way I have these parameters set up. I'm not going to call this params. I'm going to call it filter in case we want to add more filter criteria to it later. And I'll fix up some of those bindings in a bit. I am going to come into our perspective components and take a new embedded view, drag that onto the screen, move it up to the top, and I'm going to go ahead and point this to the General Selector. Again, if you've worked in the Kanoa system a couple of times, you are already very familiar with this component. It's going to come with an asset selector up here, and then a couple of date range helpers for you as well. And we can just tie all of the parameters of this to our custom property. So you'll see I come in here and I sync and reset just to make sure I have all of the latest values from that property, or from that embedded view, sorry. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just tie the entire thing to my filter. And I can quickly just set some parameters here, make sure that's working okay. Now, one thing to know is that since we do have the asset selector as a pop-up, you might need to still come in here and type in your asset ID manually once in a while just to get some things going as you're testing and troubleshooting. But here we go. I see I have my filter is tied into what I'm selecting up here in our embedded view. And the only thing I need to fix now is I need to click into this binding on our results and just point this to our new property. So I'll change this to filter, and I'm going to come down here, and I know that this is, what is it? I think it's called date range. Yes, date range. Start date and date range, end date. I will do that and hit OK. And there we go. Our screen is back up and running again. So one small downside that you'll notice is that unfortunately I can't open up the pop-up to select my assets in here. Again, we could go in, use that embedded view to tweak that if we need to, but let's go ahead. I'll open this up in our Ignition application. We'll update the screen here. And here we go. Now you can see this working live. I can click on my asset selector. I can pick a new asset in our hierarchy. We'll pick a pack line. Oh, I'm already on pack line 1. We'll pick pack line 2. And I can do this for year-to-date data and grab a whole bunch. And there we go. There's a big table of data there. So there you go. There's a couple more tutorials on ways that we could be tying in other Ignition Kanoa components that come out of the box into our applications. Thanks again for watching today's Kanoa Quick Tips video. Expect at least one more in this series. I think we're going to do one on some graphing and visualizations. And if you have any other questions, please do leave them down in the comments. We would love to hear from you. So please like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all of the latest Kanoa Quick Tips. And thanks again for watching.